A liar begins with making falsehood appear like truth, and ends with making truth itself appear like falsehood. Another quote there, and basically that means, you know, a liar will lie and you believe it, but then in the end, you know, you look further into it and you think, are you actually telling the truth, or are you still lying? We'll never know, only time will find out. And time will find out if this open letter from Stefan Rupp actually equates to anything, or if he just is lying again and trying to cover up the cracks that this football club does time and time again. Let me know your thoughts on the statement that came out today from Stefan Rupp in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about tomorrow as well. There's been a lot about Twitter saying, should the protest still be going on then? Because one thing that we do want out of the protest is to try and get more clarification from the club, more communication from the club, and to try and go down a different direction, a new structure, and get change overall in the football club. I will read the statement. I'll put it in the description as well, because when I did the last one sort of on this with a fans forum by the BBC Radio Leeds, I was supposed to put that in the description, but I did forget. So I will put this word for word in the description. Dear supporters, this season has not been good enough. There is not one single person connected to this club, including myself, who feels differently, of course. The last 2 weeks have been hugely disappointing. We have allowed our season to fall away only weeks after being minutes from Wembley. Last week, Ryan Sparks requested to meet in Germany to address a number of topics concerning him, both in the short and long term. Ryan flew to Munich yesterday, which was Wednesday, and we openly discussed where we find ourselves now, how we got here, and how we do not wish to find ourselves in this position again. So that's interesting that he's flown out to Germany yesterday and last week requested to meet him in Germany, obviously after the Mansfield defeat and the fact that Stefan Rupp was in Bradford at that time. So it was obviously probably after Notts County then. So why didn't Stefan Rupp stay then? Did Ryan Sparks not see any problems in the football club then? You know, why just then did he request to meet him and to talk about things? But I will continue to go further. Ryan expressed his concerns around our budget, which is something that Ryan Sparks has continually said, that our budget's competitive and that, you know, we've always had a fine budget. It's good enough. So again, that's interesting. And the relative, so that's another lie, if you like. And the relative budgets of other clubs that are likely to be on the table in League Two next season, including those of teams being relegated from League One and being promoted from the National League. We began the summer ahead of this season with a competitive budget, of course, based on the current model, which we hoped could deliver playoff football. However, as the better resource clubs continued to spend, it is clear our budget became less competitive, obviously. I mean, you're competing against Mansfield, Stockport, Wrexham, MK Dons, you know, they're just the big four. Then you've always got teams that overperform, you know, maybe your Crews, potentially Barrows, but they're probably financially, if not better than us, they've got a much better structure than us in place as it is anyway. So you're always going to have to compete against those. And yeah, Chesterfield will be competing next season, but you're going to lose a lot of the big financially capable clubs this season. Next season, I don't think it'll be as strong financially, but it's good that Ryan Sparks has realised it, I suppose, and has called up to Stefan Rupp to actually discuss it and you know, to pick his brains about it. And I do think that Graham Alexander said something that he had a meeting with Ryan Sparks and Stefan Rupp as well. So, you know, it seems like they've got everything out in the open and discussed everything from what everyone's took from these few months that they've all been in the club together, and hopefully have come into a solution to make us better. But at the end of the day, do you trust Ryan Sparks in the summer? Do you trust Graham Alexander in the summer? Do you trust Stephen Jemmett in the summer? That if we do spend more money next season to get it right, with the right players in the building, with the right mentality in the building, I pledge my support to ensure we are now able to compete in the transfer market, giving us a greater chance of having a closer fight with teams at the top end of the table next season. In the past, this has not always been the case. I gave Ryan clear direction to run our club as close to break even as possible. Yeah, accepting mediocrity. You know, we wanted to be sustainable when Stefan Rupp, not Stephen Rupp, Stefan Rupp is financially capable of backing us much more than he has recently, as he's promising that he will do. I don't think he'll deliver that, because like I said in the intro, someone who's lied before, you then look into it and then you don't trust them. However, I recognise this can have its limitations, and we must, to some degree, move away from an approach where our primary objective is sustainability in order to achieve our goals without placing financial strain on the business. When needed, I have always financially supported the club, and that's important. And that's one thing where, Stefan Rupp, he deserves his praise, and Ryan Sparks deserves his praise for getting commercial deals into a club to help us be sustainable. On that side of it, I can understand why people would say they've kept the club afloat, but that's where I say, well, we've accepted mediocrity, because we shouldn't be doing that. We should be enjoying coming to Bradford City more, and there should be a better structure in place to help us progress instead of keep declining. And that's where Stefan Rupp, in previous years, and still has, because these are only words, not actions, has accepted that and has been blind to seeing it all. Until today, he's actually communicated to us and put it down on paper. I mean, for the last few years, we've been playing the Black Lace song, Superman. Everybody sneeze, ski, clap your hands. We've been doing that all the time. And, hopefully this last week we've come together, we've not accepted it, we've got the protest going, and, the attendances are massively dipped. And no one wants to see that. No one wants to see Bradford City concede 13 goals, get smashed by Mansfield, embarrassed by our neighbours in Harrogate, and get played off the park by a Notts County team but were low in confidence and since have lost. And I don't think they've won in the new year since then, or if they did, it were once. No one wants to see that. No one wants to see fans turning on each other. No one wants to see people going up to the chairman and shouting at him, or talking to him sensibly, waving money at him. We want to see, just a team that gives a bit of spirit, a bit of fight, a team that has the right mentality. Basic things that we haven't had, and we haven't had communication. So this is a start, but it's only words, and we need to see it more consistently than this. Though I accept this support will need to go further, and Ryan and I are on the same page with regards to future investment required. It does need to go further. Graham Alexander inherited a team not well placed in the division, with just over 1/3 of the season played, and has worked tirelessly, along with the players and his staff, in an attempt to deliver a points per game ratio needed to get the team into a playoffs from where we were, as we have seen at times. We have been, that was supposed to be a full stop, to where we were. As we have seen at times, we have been able to string together some impressive results, but consistency has been an issue and we have not been good enough. We have also suffered significant injuries to highly influential players at bad times throughout our campaign. Yeah, but it's no excuse, because we should have brought in enough good players to come in and take those places. You look at the teams at the top end of the table who have been back financially, have a good structure in place, they get injuries and someone comes straight into a team and it's like they haven't been missed. We have injuries and the drop off is like a cliff. There's no way back. Matty Platt goes, who comes in? Liam Ryder and Dan Oyegoke. Patterson's never been replaced this season. Jamie Walker added to that pain that we had in that midfield area without having those sort of dynamic players. If you're losing Andy Cook, who replaces him? These players, we're one-man areas in the team. We have no backups ready to step in, and that's down to the recruitment of bringing so many players in, inflating the squad of just rubbish, just terrible all over. I recognise that over the past 6 months in particular, I have not been present enough. I don't. Yeah, you haven't been in the past 6 months, but you haven't been since you've come into the football club. I mean, when was the last time that he came out and did a club statement? I can't remember the last time he did a club statement. He's done a couple of brief interviews with the TNA, but the last club statement, I can't remember when that was. He said, I've been too quiet. For that, I apologise. My intention going forward is to be more visible. Well, I've always said you don't need to be so visible, but do statements, show that you care, but just show that you care by keeping the club in the best place in the football structure. And we've been so far adrift in terms of the footballing structure that we haven't got one, that's clear to see for me. And we're really struggling in that department, and that's because he hasn't shown enough interest. You don't have to be doing, I don't need to see you in North Parade every Saturday. I don't need to see that. I just want to see my football club in the right areas off the pitch, and we're not. So that's where, being more visible by showing more of an interest in that. I'd love to see that. Everyone wants to see an owner every game and getting involved in the fans, but it's not a priority. But communicate more regularly, like he's saying, with you to ensure you are kept updated on plans for the club's future. I have been made aware of the various topics that matter the most to you, and I intend to cover them more openly, regularly and clearly, although, as you can appreciate, some subjects are confidential and must be kept private for obvious reasons, definitely. But again, we need to see that, and that's why, for me, the protest has to go as planned tomorrow. We can't drop the ball. I've already said it's great that we're doing the protest because this is one of the main reasons why this has happened. There wouldn't have been a club statement if that weren't planned tomorrow. It's a great sort of realisation that the club have had to come together and do this and communicate. I want to see this. I want to come back to this in September after the summer window and go, right, have we made steps to improve? Have we got a director of football in place? Have we got more communication from the football club? Have we had a good summer window? I want to see a lot of boxes ticked by September, and then again by February next year, and then this time next year I want to do the same. I want to see us improve, but I can't say out yet because we haven't. But this is a good start. I'm acutely aware of our current rental agreement for Valley Parade is not far from coming to an end. I think it's 2 years. I'm considering all of our options to ensure the most favourable outcome for the club in the long term, to safeguard its finances, even if that comes at a cost to me. This is how I see matters for the club as a whole. Let me know what you think about the stadium in the comments down below. What would you do with it? Oh, this is flipping dropped. I knew this has happened. Shall I just do it like this? I look like one of those TikTokers who do it, they speak like this all the time. Where are we? I can't bother putting it back up. I understand the expectation placed upon this club, and I'm responsible for starting to deliver on that. This club has spent far too many years in League Two, both in recent times and prior to my involvement, and we are desperate to change that statistic and move back towards where we want to be. Right, don't care about that. There are often questions tabled to me and Ryan on my desire to own Bradford City in the long term, and it is important I clear this up for everyone concerned. I, like most owners in the AFL, would and will continue to consider offers from potential buyers who could take Bradford City further than I can, though I would never allow it to fall into the hands of someone who would harm it. And that makes sense. That is probably why it is £10 million, because if someone comes in for that, he'll accept it because it's the right thing for him, right amount of money, because he's not that interested in selling it, but he's not interested in the football club. If he becomes interested in it, then there won't be talks of that, but we need to see actions, like I keep saying, so I'm probably boring you with that. With that said, while I own the club, I want to make my commitment clear that alongside Ryan, Graham and our staff, we intend to drive it forward and bring genuine hope and excitement back to Valley Parade. This is my stance and it will not change. Part of my discussion with Ryan yesterday concerned the football department, and Ryan expressed a desire to add to that operation and assist our existing staff to achieve better outcomes. Ryan will be able to share more details on this matter before the end of the season. What does that mean? Is that director of football? Is that going to mean there's more football people coming into the club to help us off the field and to help us become better on the field? Because if it is, that would be exciting. I've always thought that Paul Jewell would be a very good director of football for us. Did alright at Swindon. He's got experience of it. Got experience of what it takes to be a Bradford City manager and to be successful as a Bradford City manager. I feel like he'd get on with Graham Alexander because he'd understand his struggles, and he might be able to communicate well to his higher ups, because it obviously petered out with Jeffrey Richmond, who, a lot of people have these thoughts on him. But you are passionate about your club, and that is important. You have the right to ask questions, to air concerns and frustrations, and to know how I see things. I would not want us to operate any other way. Everyone being on the same page, working towards the same common goals, and having each other's backs will make us stronger. I accept criticism that has come in my direction, and that is very much my responsibility. I'm determined not to let people down. I have been doing a lot of thinking since my last time at Bradford in the defeat at home to Mansfield Town, which was a difficult afternoon and very hard to watch. It is for every Saturday we come to Bradford City, Stefan. I mean, that Mansfield game, it was the best day for him to come to watch Bradford City, to see the atmosphere, to see how the club has declined and to compare that to his first day in the Valley Parade Stadium would be a massive show of what he's done to the football club, the neglect that he's give to the football club. I mean, this whole statement, it's like when someone from Coronation Street comes in and it's someone's mum, and you've never seen them, or you haven't seen them for years, and they just magically come back, and they ask for forgiveness. Please forgive me. I didn't mean to walk out on you, and I didn't mean to neglect you for all those years. Get out. I don't want to speak to you. But they just magically come back. When everything's going wrong, they end up coming back, and then they get accepted again. Then they turn their lives around, and then. Because it's soap opera, and this is exactly what Bradford City Football Club is. When results were better on the field, we can achieve great things when we are united and together. That's what we've done as a fan base in terms of getting this statement out, so well done to all you lot who have been pushing for this, and especially the Independent. I think they put a Twitter poll on earlier this evening saying, should we still do the protest, because they are for the fans, and this is the thing, if you are Stefan Rupp'S and Ryan Sparks and you don't understand all that, do follow them, do become a member, because you have your say. If you do, I think it's all, like, massively in the favour of keep doing the protest with over 1,000 votes, which is brilliant to see, because we need to keep it pushing. But the people who would have said no could have had a swing in that. But if it were more who said no, they wouldn't have been pushing it, the Independent. So that's again another thing for you to see. But there's both sides. They are for the fans, and that's the unity and togetherness that we've shown. And share the pain you feel when things do not go our way. I hope tomorrow you can pull together and get behind the team as you do, like supporters of no other club can. And I hope the players can begin to wash away some of the feelings that have been built up over the past few weeks and deliver performance on the pitch, which they are more than capable of. Hopefully we can pick up some positive results as we move towards the end of the season, the summer and the 24-25 campaign, which I can assure you we will all give everything towards to ensure it ends how a Bradford City season can and should. Your chairman, Stefan. I mean, those last 3 paragraphs, it's just... it's like what a manager will say, well, let's get some positive results, let's rally around the team. Let's not rally around the team. They've shown nothing in 40 games this season, and you've shown nothing in terms of ambition in this football club, like you've apologised for in your whole state at the football club. This is why we are where we are. So no, we won't rally around the players because they don't deserve it, and you don't deserve it as the chairman either. So you get what you're given. I'm gonna try and get there tomorrow. Before the kick-off, to show myself, and hopefully you can as well, and we'll get as many there. I think it's predicted around 500 from the vote on Twitter, and obviously if you know anyone who isn't on social media, make them aware of it and see if they can get there, or if they want to be there. Of course, don't force them to do anything they can't. But yeah, it's good, and I'm glad, and it's 1% exciting that this could be a future where we do have the right structure in place. Everyone's woke up in the football club. He's going to show more interest, but I don't want the wool getting pulled over my eyes. We'll all rise to this. Let's not, like I say, let's not sing Superman, and let's not just follow his every wish and command. Let's not be blindsided by this. He is Stefan Rupp. He has said stuff like this before. So has Ryan Sparks. And they will say things like this again. Until we see clear actions taking place in the next few months, then we can say credit where it's due. I'm not saying credit where it's due after a few words. There's been a lot of major issues in the football club that is ignored, and the football club that is neglected. It's basically like buying a house and not putting any money into it for 7-8 years, and expecting it to be like a mansion when you get back. But instead, what he does is every year when he comes back to see how his house is doing, but he hasn't put any money in, or hasn't put any people into the house, he'll see loads of rats and a load of dampness on the walls. And now finally he seems to have woken up to that, and he might be actually investing into the house, and who knows, we might get a mansion. We could get a few promotions and get where he promised to be. I don't think that'd be the case, but I wish it will be, and I hope this is the first step to a future for this football club. So thank you very much for watching and listening to me rabbit on, and let me know your thoughts on everything discussed in the comments down below. Let me know if you're going tomorrow, and like the video if you did. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think I've already said that. Subscribe if you're new. 5 subscribers away now from 350 subscribers. Massively appreciated. Thank you very much for all the support. Have a good one.